Well, hello there. Welcome back, everyone, to another Scraptastic episode. It's been a while, right? A little too long. Before we get too far ahead, let's just have a quick recap on this build. To start off, we have an entirely new front suspension, Mustang 2 double wishbone sitting on some QA1 coilovers to be exact. After that, we did what I would consider to be one of the hardest modifications I've done on any car, which was relocate this engine 6 inches back and 4 inches down. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it is a lot lower than stock. That in theory should help a lot with our weight distribution and the way that this car will drive. Then this is where things started to get a little fancy. We ditched the traditional carburetor and went with a high-tech, FI-tech unit. Yeah, that's right, a top-of-the-line fuel injection unit on a car that's worth a couple packs of cigarettes. And sitting right under that FI-tech unit is an Edelbrock Performer RPM intake, which should give us a couple extra beans. Somebody recently said I have more money than sense. Well, that couldn't be further from the truth because I have no money nor sense. This entire car does not make sense. There is literally no financial gain from me doing all of these modifications. I don't get paid for the hundreds of hours in fabrication work of my time to do any of this. This car is merely an experiment, a test to our creativity and our fabrication skills, and really just pushing the limit of what we can do. Is it the prettiest car we have built? No, but without a doubt, it will be the funnest car we built. And all of the fancy parts that you see were not purchased by me. Instead, they are sponsored by the companies or you guys, the lovely viewers and patrons. That's enough yapping though, let's get to the point. The goal for the month of October is to get this thing driving. I want it moving under its own power. If you guys haven't noticed that giant box over there, that's gonna help us get to that goal. So, our longtime patron, Michael Sanchez reached out to us and said, hey bro, we wanna see this thing drive, what do you need? I told him, hey man, we could really do with a seat bracket. And what does Michael do? He sends us 2 CORBEAU seat brackets, and they're not just seat brackets. No, my friends, because they're also freaking sliders. How cool is that? So now we're gonna have some really good adjustability rather than just having a fixed position seat. Well, we now have some high quality seat brackets and sliders. Would be really nice to have some high quality seats to go along with. Un paquete. Looks like it's addressed in my name. Oh gosh. Well, it would be rude just not to open it, right? What do we have here? Oh shit. That is not what I meant to do. Why am I struggling so bad? Yeah, baby, yeah. So when Michael Sanchez said that he had purchased some CORBEAU seat brackets for us, I reached out to CORBEAU and said, hey, one of our sponsors purchased us a set of CORBEAU brackets. It'd be nice to have some CORBEAU seats, and here we are. This is the CORBEAU DFX fixed back racing seat, and this is kind of the middle line between their Forza and FX1 Pro seats, but boy is she pretty. She even smells good. There is a couple different options with the DFX. I opted to go with the black on black, where you get this black piping along with this carbon fiber fabric here. The back of the seat is also equipped with this carbon fiber looking vinyl. And of course we have all of the slots for a 5-point harness, the ones on the lap as well as shoulders. This seat literally feels amazing. And you know why I know it feels amazing? Let me show you. Because I can compare it to the seat I had originally purchased for the Mustang, which is one that I purchased off of Facebook Marketplace for $80. And it also came included with some dog hair and some pee stains. And my honest, unbiased opinion is that these are very uncomfortable, and I noticed it as soon as I purchased them because I could feel the wires on my butt and on my back. I could literally feel the metal wires that are keeping it together, whereas, oh man, it feels so good. And these holes are in a perfect position because they are over my shoulders, so I don't compress my spine. And the fun doesn't end there because we got a little pouch here. What's in the pouch? I'll show you what's in the pouch. To go along with our new fancy seat, we have a 5-point harness, which is also equipped with a cam lock, so it's kind of just a quick release, which is pretty cool because I've even seen these in airplanes. All right, but I gotta see what it looks like. Also, this is the 3-inch harness. You can see how thick that is. I mean, come on, guys. Holy crap, does that look good. I can't help it. I can't help it. I just want to keep sitting on these. This is surreal. I'm genuinely so happy with these seats and harnesses, as well as the seat brackets. Thank you, CORBEAU. Thank you, Michael Sanchez. Enough with the fangirling. Let's get these brackets installed. Luckily, these seats already come with the pre-installed bolts, as well as the optional side bracket bolts. Now we can install this bracket. There was an issue with the bracket, but we'll get to that in a sec. This lube on the slider assembly, it's gotten all over my fingers and now I can't. It's too slippery. We're gonna slide the bracket upwards. Get the bottom ones. Okay, maybe I did it wrong. I believe I did. I put it in the wrong place. It's supposed to go in that hole, not the middle hole. Okay, now we properly align with these holes. All right, slider assembly should be pretty damn good. All right, let's get this thing installed. Or actually, let's talk about the issue with the bracket. Taking a look at the bottom of the bracket, you will see the 4 holes that will bolt directly onto the floor pan, but these are usually equipped with a different style bolt. So this nut right here is going to prevent this bolt hole from sitting flush on the floor pan. But if there's one thing about this channel is we're not gonna slow down for nothing. We'll make do with what we got. I called up the CORBEAU team and they are going to ship the correct bolts ASAP. But in the meantime, we're gonna use these 1/2-inch spacers in order to keep that bolt from hitting the floor pan. Odds are those bolts will get here before this car is even drivable. So we'll just replace them when we get them. Ooh la la. I haven't even sat in it while it's installed because I'm just admiring how cool it looks in there. The moment of truth. Look, just look. Just look at this. Yeah, baby. Even with these spacers, it doesn't feel too bad in here. I remember growing up and watching YouTube videos, and when people would install their racing seats, they would always talk about how comfortable they are. And I would always wonder how they don't look that comfortable. They keep you in a tight space, but holy crap, I could definitely see myself driving all the way to California for FiTech dyno days. I can get used to this. The seat is comfy, it looks really pretty, and it's gonna keep us in place while we're sliding around in this car. And to address the elephant in the room, for those of you that are wondering why we only have one seat, we'll get the other one in the future, but the budget didn't allow it. Say if we did have an infinite budget though. CORBEAU also offers a recliner seat with a plaid design. For those of you that know me, I love plaid. I had plaid seats on my Mark 7 GTI, and it's just such a classic look. Yeah, I mean, plaid wouldn't really be correct for the era of this car, but the engine is no longer in its correct position, neither is the transmission, neither is the wires. Once again, the goal for October is to have this thing running under its own power and hopefully us actually driving it. And the seats will catapult us towards that goal. So in the topic of advancing, in order to get this thing running under its own power, what do we do next? I'll let you guys have a guess. But what you're guessing is wrong. Wrong because we're gonna go ahead and remove the entire engine again. We're gonna end up removing it because we still have some work to do elsewhere, like the transmission, as well as bolt the clutch onto the flywheel. And yes, we don't need to remove the engine in order to do that. And I just hate being under the damn car. If you guys saw when we were building the cross member for the transmission, I was not having a good time. We're gonna go ahead and disconnect some of the fuel lines. I really hope there's no more pressure here. Please, 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 please. Nice, wow. It has been sitting for almost a month without starting, but I'm kind of surprised there's absolutely no leakage. Look at that. Nice. We're also gonna go ahead and remove the rad. Ow! And luckily, because of these brackets that we made and this disconnectable plug we installed, the radiator and fan come out as a whole. Alrighty, so the engine is pretty much ready to come out. It is disconnected from all the wires, cables, and lines. We just have two motor mounts. We just have two motor mounts left to go, and then we could yank it out. Unfortunately, the Phytech unit is going to have to come out because I like using the intake mounted plate in order to lift up the engine. But luckily, it's not too complicated. It's 4 bolts and a couple wires. Come to Papa. Oh. One more plug. Nice. And just in case Butterfingers over here decides to drop anything, this tape will keep us from having to disassemble the engine. So we're here obviously getting ready to pull the engine, but oh my, there's a glass bar engine in the way. All right, we're back in business, I think. 10 hours and 2 broken fingers later, we've arrived at our destination. Oh no, hope I didn't scratch the paint. All right, the engine as well as the transmission are now out. Earlier we had mentioned that the transmission needed some work, and that's kind of an understatement. It's mostly just a shell with some good parts in it. Not to worry, because we got this guy. Both of these are T5 transmissions, but there is some big differences, but this episode is not about that. Now that the engine is out, it makes it a little bit easier to do some things. If you're not removing your engine for oil changes, you're not doing it right. So if you guys remember, this oil is our first break-in oil, and considering it was the first break-in after the rebuild, I'm not too worried. Okie dokie, now we could continue with the assembly. Also, huge shout out to the Catman for sponsoring this clutch set. A lot of people were asking why I hadn't put a pilot bearing yet. Well, it's because we didn't have one. Some of you will be shocked knowing that this is actually the first clutch I've ever installed. But I've watched Chris Fix do it a couple times, so that counts for something, right? And of course, we're gonna use my favorite tool to tighten everything down. And alignment tool goes in and out pretty easy peasy. We're gonna leave it there just in case, but should be good. And for now, we could get this thing out of the way. If it will comply. Jeez, man, these wheels suck. Also, huge shout out to Murray for the coffee that I already drank, but it's okay because Murray got us 5. There's a lot of work coming up for the scrappy boy. Also, my birthday is in 2 days and it would be very rude if you did not drop a like on this video. Although we have a grocery list of things to do to this car, here's to the return of the scraps thing. Thank you guys for hanging out. We'll see you on the next one.